Before you buy the Sarah Creal Face Flex Concealer and Complexion Enhancer, watch this review. If you already bought it, sorry, too late. I have tried and tested and reviewed hundreds of concealers over the past 8 years. There are 5 things that I want to share with you about this concealer right here. I have it in shade 2. I purchased this product. You're getting my honest review as always over here. I'm also going to share my final verdict at the end and talk about other products that I would recommend maybe instead. It'll all be in the description. Links to everything will be there. Let's dive into ingredients. I'm wearing it right now. I did set it. We will talk about this being crease free in a second, but I will remove what I have on now and just apply it. You're also going to see a close-up demo as well. So you'll see it in natural light, you'll see it in studio light, you're going to see it in a lot of different ways. It helps, hopefully. I wish I had my headband right now. This is a cruelty-free, vegan, gluten-free, Leaping Bunny certified formula. There are 10 shades that are currently available. There's a couple that have cooler tone, neutral bases, I would say undertones to them. I'm only looking at what the website has, so I haven't swatched all of them at this point, but they do skew on the warm side to me, possibly pink undertones. I've read a lot of reviews where they're saying they're running a little yellow. I'm seeing more pink, which isn't necessarily bad for my skin type, but it's something to consider. This is a water first formula. It does have a lot of canes in it, undecane, tridecane, cane. Those can be used different ways. I'm not a cosmetic chemist, but they can be used as emollients. They can add kind of a slip to the formula. Sometimes I find them in formulas when I don't see silicones. I see canes, so they're swapping canes for cones. This is theoretical. This is not data backed. Okay, there we go. There are a lot of film formers in this product. It's flexing with the skin. It's supposed to float on top of the skin. Film formers, I'm not mad at. Sometimes the canes do irritate my skin, but just because it does that to me does not mean it's going to happen to you. Unfortunately, this brand does not have a lot of product information on the product page about their environmental impact. On their external packaging, it's FSC certified. They do have Leaping Bunny certification, which we appreciate. Vegan, cruelty free, but this is all about luxury. This is all about luxury. This is all about ingredients. And sadly, I am not seeing anything that would help a consumer figure out how to recycle this, if that's possible. Even just the boilerplate Talk to Pact Collective, they don't have any of that on there, and I'm kind of surprised. I expected more is what I'm trying to say. I dive further into ingredients back on the website, like in-depth stuff there. You can always check out the scorecard if you want to. Let's move into the second part of this, which is application. So I rate these from a 1 to 5, or I guess a 0 to 5. I don't know if I've ever given out a 0. This is a doe foot applicator, or it's flat foot really. It doesn't look like a doe foot, it's a flat foot applicator. It's creamy, it's silky, it's very lightweight, so it follows through on that weightless claim for me. I tried everything when applying this. I've had this in my hands for over 2 weeks now. I think we're coming up on 3 weeks. And here's what I've found to work the best. Very little bit goes a long way for the first layer. Instead of just pressing my finger to it, I'll use something like a brush. This is the Fit Glow brush. Again, I'll link to all of these things. And I just sort of get it distributed where I want to. As you can see, it moves very easily. Advantage and potentially a bit of a disadvantage. It's not gripping on, but it slides around. That's why pressing it in with the finger worked best under the eye for me. I can hardly feel the product going into the skin. Building is actually pretty easy in the sense that it doesn't get heavy. It's not getting tacky. It's not feeling thick, right? So we like that. These are all things we like usually. I started to notice, and I haven't seen this really before, it does this thing where it is sitting on top of the skin. I think that's the film former. But if I were to go back in and keep pressing it, it starts to shift around for me. So the coverage took a little bit of a hit, which I'm going to get into in a second. I would say fingers are the best way to do it. The sponge spread it out very evenly for me under the eye and on top of the eye. However, when I used the sponge, it was insta creasing, which is weird. I don't usually see that. And I think just using a brush wouldn't get it all the way gripped onto the skin or the rest of the face, since this is supposed to be able to be used everywhere, which, let's be honest, most concealers can be used pretty much anywhere you want to put them. Auto multitaskers, but I think it's nice for marketing speak. I'm just putting a little bit here, and then I'm taking another Fit Glow brush. Doesn't have to be this brush, but you want something that's dense and soft, not too hard, right? And then I'm just going to press it into the skin. That for me was way easier of an application. It's not shifting as much. It just kind of does its thing, and you saw I spent all of 2 seconds pressing this into primed, prepped skin. I'm also not seeing polka dot pores. This is one side that has it on. We're gonna let this sit for a second and we will go to the other side. Application under the eye was a little bit fussier for me. Really easy on the face, 3 out of 5 total. For coverage, I think it's light to medium, builds up to a fuller coverage without looking like much is on the skin, except under the eye. If I were to start building to full, I think the finish would suffer and creasing would show up a little bit more. So I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 on coverage, middle of the road there. Debated on going 4 out of 5 or not, but overall, I think it did a pretty solid job. So the finish is usually when I get a veil, like it just kind of spreads evenly over the skin. It's velvety finish. It's not that glowy finish because I don't want that under the eye. The finish claim here, clinically proven to not fade or crease for 12 plus hours. I've done multiple 8-hour wear tests. I can't tell you 12. I'm not there yet. But this, like I already mentioned, creased on me. Wasn't horrible, but something that I ended up really liking about this lighter weight product, the fact that it works well with a lot of other things on it. So it plays well with other products. That finishes, that's way better. I wonder why that worked better. One of the products that I like to use, because the pro here is it works well with products, right? Like I just said, but the con here is that you really do need the product. I need the powder or else the creasing is going to be not great. So I'm just using the RMS Unpowder, very sheer setting powder and a puff. This is, I should wash this. Wash your things. Don't do what I'm doing. Taking my life into my hands here, people. So this little action locks it in pretty well. The other thing I want to mention here is sometimes when you set a liquid concealer under the eye, it can change the color quite a bit. It can change the shade. Some I've tried when I put this on top, it turns yellow. It really affects the formula underneath it. This is almost, to me, for my skin and my use under the eye specifically, feels like it's made to be worn with this powder. And it does a great job with the powder. You can see it just sort of evened it out. I can go like this. I don't feel it. I don't know it's there. Still, that means this claim about setting itself and not creasing, no, I did not see that at least. It might work for somebody else. I kind of wish they hadn't have put that claim in there because it would have gotten a better score, would have been more lenient, but because they said, no, it will not crease. It received a 2 on that. On the face, again, the finish is still velvety. It's not shiny as you can see. It's not looking like a lot of makeup. It's really, I'm liking it more for the face than I am under the eyes, what I'm getting at. Last, we have the wear test. This is where it lost me as well a little bit, unfortunately. I'm gonna keep at it because application can change things. One that I'm trying right now, one way to apply it, put a little bit of the product on the back of the hand. Really, it's not like you need a lot, which is good because this is not cheap. And I take an eyeshadow brush. I've done this before and it's called Priming the Brush. And Katie Jane Hughes, this brilliant makeup artist, I in no way developed this method. Follow her, like her, she's amazing. You prime it and you're basically rubbing the product into the brush so you're avoiding putting too much on and yet you're still gonna get some nice brightening here. I'm trying to see if applying like this is going to allow for a better wear test because by the end of the day, the coverage really did fade on me and you're going to see it. And this is after working out. I have worn other products that haven't faded this much. It kind of faded away and it was really kind of sad. So especially after setting it, I think maybe applying, building, and applying again to get that grip to hold might work. That's a lot of work for something that's $60 for my skin. This could be easy and effortless for somebody else. I don't know. You tell me if you've tried it. So unfortunately, that brought it down to a 10 out of 20. That's the current score. One of the products that I really, really do love, and now I'm really liking it even more. You've heard me talk about it. It's from Iris and Romeo. It is their Best Skin Days concealer, and I liked it and then I didn't like it because the formula started separating quickly on me. I'm not seeing separation yet. I've dated this and everything, so I'm watching it. This one seems to be holding up a little bit better. I've got other products that I think could be great alternates for this back on the website on the scorecard. I have that in the You May Also Like section on every scorecard. And I think it's a good like jumping off point if you're still looking. But this for under eye is so brainless. It's like, I don't even have to think. I can walk and talk and do this and just, get it where I want it to go. There's something about this formula that is, and I can feel it now that I have the two of them side by side. This holds on, but something in here is not as slick. That allows for it to grip on. I get instant coverage. It was a really fast layer, so this one looks brighter. It barely creases. Barely creases for me, which is so rare. I like this flat brush. Everyone talks about the kitten foot brush from BK Beauty. I really don't like it. I don't prefer that for my concealer. I feel like it just kind of doesn't do what it's supposed to do. This veil-like coverage here, and already I'm starting to see a little bit of shifting on the Sarah Creal. This one, not so much. I haven't even set it, and I can go another 10 minutes before I see any creasing. So under eye, I'm preferring this. A couple of others back on the site that you could check out are really good contenders, I think, as well, that are less expensive, and they're more sustainably minded from what I can see on the site. Maybe Sarah Creal is, and I'm just not seeing it on there. This I liked, the Sarah Creal, I liked along the face. I wouldn't wear the Iris and Romeo as much as a multitasker. It just doesn't work as well that way. So again, if you want more details, you can go back onto the scorecard and check it out. You could also just beeline it to my favorites. I have a playlist for that here that'll come up in 2 seconds. Or you can go check out Britt's picks, which is there for you, all my current favorites all in one spot. And then as of today, for those of you that hung out for the rest of this video, there is a cheat sheet out there that I've created on my website. It has all of the holiday sales, the remainder of the holiday sales, which are still kind of up and running, and actual products by sale that I would recommend. So it's not just the sales site and the percentage off, but also the products within those sales that I would say, yeah, they're worth it. You can check that out. You sign up for my newsletter. You're already signed up for the newsletter. You already received the email, and you're getting all the information anyway, so good on you. Kind of already gave away the final verdict a little bit, but when I finish this, will I buy it again? That's my real, how do I know? You know, am I reaching for it every day? As you can tell right now, I'm probably going to say no to that. Let me know your experience if you've tried it and you want to share, and let us know your skin type, because this is just an opinion of one. There are a lot of different opinions out there. There are some loving it. There are some really not liking it. So curious to see what you think. I will keep testing it to see if anything else comes up. I will absolutely share that with you. If you found this review helpful and you want to support the channel and keep me reviewing forever, well, I don't know about forever. That seems like a long time. But if you want to support the channel, then hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you right back here real soon for some more honest reviews. Until then, mwah, bye. We're warming up. This whole thing on social drives me nuts.